Welcome to the No Kidding Podcast. My name's Andrew Millward.
And I'm Lisa Millward.
There you go.
No relation, just...
Yeah. So we decided to start this podcast because what a coincidence.
Yes. In case anybody doesn't know, because that could get really weird, we are siblings, and this is just how we choose to have a relationship, is via sound waves. So
yeah, you never know. People could pop in at episode 32 and be like, "What's going on here? What's the deal?"
These people, yeah.
I need a backstory.
Why
but
do
I
they have the same
refuse
last
to
name?
listen to 31 episodes of prequel.
It's probably true. I don't know that I've ever, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't think, well, actually, that's not true. I was going to say I've never just jumped in the middle of a podcast. I've always, every podcast I listen to is pretty much something I listened to since they started, which is
Right.
kind of maybe rare. I don't know, except I forgot that there are just a couple, like more professional type podcasts that I've kind of picked up and just listened to. If I like the title of the episode, I'll say, yeah, that's a good one, or whatever. But
Right, yeah. I think we're both that type of person, so I'm glad that we're thinking of the others, the people that aren't like us.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know.
We don't want to alienate anybody. So you said you had some information about notes.
Well, you're talking about your 3 pieces of paper. I want to send you a quick screen grab here.
Okay. Yes.
Let's get this little thing going. So I learned about a new thing. Well, I guess I knew about it, but I learned how to efficiently use a new thing. Here it is. So
efficiency is good. Yes.
So I've talked about before how I use VS Code to do my notes, which is kind of insane because it's not meant to be a note-taking platform. Mm-hmm. But I really like Obsidian, but it's a lot like VS Code. I just didn't feel like it had a lot of the flushed out features and stuff because Obsidian's very like beta, that like something like VS Code has, where you can just get extensions for writing in Markdown, which is just a simple way of formatting notes, or text or anything really.
But it is an Obsidian. Like this is Obsidian.
Right. So I'm now sending you a picture. I've started using Obsidian because, as a beta does, it's improved, and I'm really loving it. I'm really loving like the new features they've added, and they've even started flighting on their Android app, which is what really started to draw me in because VS Code I don't think is going to have a Android app anytime soon. Not a lot of people trying to code on the go, though I suppose it's possible, and I think they have a web version, but that's neither here nor there. So I learned that Obsidian will render iframes, which is basically an HTML element that basically is just a window to the internet.
Whoa.
So
that sounds... Yeah.
I've literally just created 3 windows here. One of them is my notes. One of them is one Discord chat. And one of them is you and mine Discord chat. So now I'm keeping an eye on 2 Discord chats. I'm keeping an eye on my notes. And then I have the screen split with the waveform, the Audacity recording. So I have like a freaking dashboard here of like everything I need for this podcast.
Yes, you do. You have a snapshot of everything that you need, except I'm curious as to why for this podcast you need 2 Discord chats open.
Oh, the other one's just to keep an eye on, You got to know when the 3080s are, coming in.
The 3080s, what's that?
The RTX 3080s.
Okay, I don't know. You'll have to explain.
Okay, well, all right, now we're going down another rabbit hole. So,
God forbid.
I'm embarrassed, Lisa.
Okay.
I'm chagrined. And my friends are ragging on me, and I can't take it because they're right. All right? So what's happened here is I have bought a Ryzen 5900X. You know what that is?
A Ryzen... What is it, 1500?
It's a Ryzen 9 5900X.
I'm going to say it's something to do with your computer.
That's a very good guess. In fact, it is the brain of a computer.
Okay.
It is a very powerful CPU, one of the best on the market right now. And I bought it because they're very, very difficult to get your hands on at this juncture. And I'm trying to build a PC at basically the worst time ever. but it's time. I'm gonna have my new office.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now we're gonna go down another rabbit hole. We'll come back to that. I'm gonna have. So I need a new PC. Well, I don't need it, but I want.
But why are they making fun of you? Because you're building this at the worst possible time?
Yes, but more importantly, that my strategy is that I just had to buy it because it was available, and I was like, purchase, please. And now I have a 5900X, one of the better processors that you can get right now, just sitting on my desk collecting dust. And every day that I have it here, its value is depreciating. It's when you drive a car off the lot. It's like if you bought a brand new car and then covered it with a sheet and just went back to driving your old car.
I get it. Yeah. So you don't have all the pieces yet, so you can't build your brand new computer. Yeah. But you kind of wish that you had waited and gotten it later, but you're worried that you won't get it later. Yeah.
Exactly. You got it. I don't wish that I got it later. But it is hurting me to see it sitting there.
Well, have you protected it?
Oh, I mean, it's still in a box. It's like mint. But,
So they're just making fun of you because you have nothing to put it in.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I need a whole rig. I have Intel right now, so I mean, it wouldn't even fit on my motherboard.
By the time you build this computer, is that going to be the best and newest and everybody's seeking
Exactly. It could be. They could come out with a new one tomorrow, and I'd be toast, Lisa. And I wouldn't even get to use it when it was the king.
You'd be fried and crispy.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah,
and you know what else?
What?
I ordered 2 ultra wide, 144 hertz, 34-inch monitors for my new office.
Oh, wow. Nice. And they're just sitting there collecting dust too?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But that one I don't feel bad about because I got a great deal on it. It was everybody rags on Amazon Prime Day, but
who does that?
It comes in handy.
It does come in handy. Although,
everybody. Well, they say it's just like a really bad sales, like barely a sale, and then a lot of times they even kind of like they'll say, it's like $15 off when it was like already $10 off before Prime Day.
Yeah.
So it's like you're really just getting $5 off.
Yeah, maybe in some cases, but there are some cases where it is really helpful and beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did make a purchase for around Prime Day, and I got a pretty good deal on a blow-up paddleboard.
Ooh.
Yeah. So now I have
Did you get to use it?
I have.
Leading
I got
into
to
something
use
else.
it. Yeah, I went on a beach trip recently. Everybody should be just so jealous. No, I'm kidding. It's just our annual beach trip that you never go to, even though it's a family reunion, that you're not ever reunited.
I'm never reunited with the family.
That's not true. You came the last time for a little bit, so I'm just kidding. But we went this year.
Briefly.
And yeah, but you were still there. And not everybody can come every time, so it's understandable. But yeah, so we went to do that, and I got to use my paddleboard for the first time, and it was actually really nice. It was the only bad thing, and it wasn't really even a bad thing, but it has a manual pump to pump it up, and it doesn't take that long, except it's extremely hard to do. It's like I had to give it to our older brother to do it, and even he was struggling pushing it through the end, like at the very end of its pumping part or whatever. He was struggling, so I'm like, yeah, if I ever want to use this by myself, I'm going to need like an electric pump. So I've since bought an electric pump, a really not expensive one, so hopefully it works. I haven't used it yet, but apparently it's a lifesaver and an arm saver. So yeah, I'm excited about that eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I was
really
kind of torn between getting a paddleboard and getting a kayak because I love, like, it's just a hard choice. I like the ease of the paddleboard, but the kayak is so versatile. So you could put you can carry stuff in it, and I mean you can carry stuff on your paddleboard too. But I mean, like for example, there's
when you're going shopping and you need to go and you're like, I need a trunk at least, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's the thing. the place where we go to the beach every year, there is an island that is only accessible by boats or paddleboard or whatever.
Well, it is an island.
It's an island. So, like,
where you go
drive.
to vacation is an island in itself.
Right. So there's an
We're
island.
talking about a second island.
Yes, there's a second island off of the island. And the island that we stay at, there's a bridge that brings you there. So you could drive there. But the other island is just very small. You can camp on it. It's got a campground. But you have to boat yourself there somehow. And we always take either...
Yeah, I wouldn't want to paddleboard there.
Yeah, like, well, we did end up doing that. And it wasn't too bad because we just were there for a little bit and we just snorkeled and stuff. But, if we were going to spend the whole day there and, like, have a picnic and bring food and bring, like, a bunch of stuff, like, I would want the kayak for that. I wouldn't want to paddleboard all that stuff over. It's
right.
Just, yeah, because everything gets soaked, like, in a paddleboard, everything. And then also I was like, well, if I ever have little people or dogs.
Children?
That's what I call my children. Little people or dogs, then that they could just like hop in the kayak and I can kayak around with them. Or they could get on the paddleboard, but I feel like there's just more room for error, of them falling off or like whatever. So yeah, I don't know. So maybe eventually I will do that too. But I ended up choosing the paddleboard this time because A, it was cheaper, and B, it's like a little bit more grab and go. I think that was my rationale.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if it's like a pump up one.
Yeah. And the kayak is a pump up one too, but
oh really?
Yeah, it's like a 2-person pump up thing.
And the best thing about going to islands is having a picnic. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's true. I don't know.
Maybe there should be like a floating cooler / trailer for the paddleboard.
You're right. There should be like a blow up trailer that you can like hitch to it. And you're so right. You should invent that.
I'm pretty sure they make floaty coolers because, like, let's be honest, everybody that goes to like the springs wants to have one of those Yetis full of beer so they can be tubing down the river, lazy river style, with popping cans of Busch Light.
This is true. Maybe
and
I
then
just
throwing
need, like,
them
a
off
raft.
into the wilderness when they're done.
But then again, like if you're carrying a picnic lunch in a floatable cooler over the ocean, I feel like there's a lot more like opportunities for it to be attacked or something.
Attacked?
Or like, yeah, like fish will be attracted to that, and maybe sharks. So
well, I mean, if it's a cooler, it's sealed. I'm assuming it's going to stay right side up. Only like during the biggest waves will it ever be like completely submerged.
I guess so.
And at that point, if it's getting like totally splashed with like a giant wave, you probably shouldn't be paddleboarding with the thing strapped to you, with a cooler strapped to you.
True.
That is another consideration. It could like the currents could take that thing, and then you'll get yanked off your paddleboard.
Yeah.
Or it'll just drag your paddleboard to sea.
I will say that paddleboarding on the ocean in a through an inlet or anything like that, it is challenging sometimes because when the tides are changing and when there's boats going by. Oh my gosh, that was another thing. Is that this year, so because it's a blow up paddleboard, the fins underneath are attached. Like you can take them on and take them off for like easy transport or whatever. And so somehow the fin had come off of the board.
Uh-oh.
And we looked forever for it and we couldn't find it. So we were like, oh no. And the point of the fin is kind of to help stabilize the board so it's not as unbalanced. And then like if there is like a wave or something, it doesn't flip over and it kind of like doesn't spin around and stuff. So it's actually kind of an important piece. But I was like, well, we can't find it. I'm just going to try. But it was I could definitely tell a difference. And there were boats, obviously going by. And every time there was a wave, I was just like, I had to get like a low base of support and just like crouch down and wait it out basically. But
it's like crawling across the ice. You just go flat.
Yeah. I didn't fall, thankfully. But it was definitely a challenge. And it was definitely a workout for the arms, to fight the current. Because on the way there, we were going against the current.
See, that's the best kind of exercise. The kind where you're like, I'm going to get sucked out to sea if I don't do that.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's true. It's like, you have to do this or you won't live. Well, you probably would live, but it'd be an exciting ride anyway. It was cool.
It would suddenly become a castaway situation.
Yeah.
See, in a kayak, you could bring a volleyball.
Yeah, you could bring all kinds of stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was really torn. I was like, but then when we went, our father went with us too, and he did have a kayak, so we put some stuff in his kayak. So, but he has like a real legit kayak. It's like hard and whatever. And also, that's another thing. Like, he blew us away on his little kayak. We were always like, he could have gotten there and gotten back and gotten there again by the time it took us to get there. So it's obviously easier to use a kayak than a paddleboard in the ocean.
You just need the roof rack for it.
That's true. But if it was a blow up, then I wouldn't have that issue. But maybe it would be just as hard with a blow up one. I don't know. But I guess you have like double the paddle power, because it's like you go back and forth and back and forth. Whereas the paddleboard, you only have one side or the other side, one stroke at a time kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. So
can they make a big like upside down U style style paddle so that you can do like a kayak style back and forth paddling, but on a paddleboard? It'd be like a big upside down U with a paddle on each end.
Oh, okay. I see. I was like, like those wraiths or whatever they're called, or like those the
wraith,
like the thing, the death guy. What's he called? The guy that
Grim
comes.
Reaper?
Yeah, the Grim Reaper.
A scythe? Are you talking about
a scythe? What did I say?
You're like, I'm like a big U paddle, and you're like wraiths.
What am I thinking about?
I'm glad we found that. That was a pretty. Honestly, I'm proud of myself from getting from there to scythe that quickly.
Oh.
Based on what you gave me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you understand what I mean.
This could be a game. It's like charades.
It is. It's like charades verbal charades. Yeah, that's what I was envisioning. The scythe that you were saying. But okay, so an upside down you. I get it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, where would you store that? I guess it would come apart. I don't know.
Yeah, it's split in the bend.
Or you could just like get a rowing thing where it's like you row and it just like, but you're standing and you're just pulling, like kind of like a, like a rower, like crew, but.
Or there's some kind of like pedal system and you just rock back and forth and it like paddles you.
They do have, is that what you're talking about? They do have like a standing, it's basically like elliptical, but it's in the water and it's on a paddleboard. So like, yeah, they have them where there's a handlebars.
How do you stand and do an elliptical? Handlebars, okay.
Yeah, you have handlebars, kind of like in Back to the Future, how it was like that. I think it was a floating, what was it called?
Waterworld.
No, Back to the Future had
are we playing the game again?
Yeah, it's like a skateboard, but it doesn't have wheels and it floats.
Hoverboard,
thank you. Oh my gosh.
Hey. 10 points to Gryffindor.
I couldn't think of it. That's funny because Mike and I are watching all the Harry Potters right now.
They're good.
Yeah. He's never seen them, so that's why we're doing that. But
weird.
But yeah, like the hoverboard in Back to the Future, it had handlebars from the kid, and then he like breaks it. Is that true, or am I making that up?
Oh no, he not in the hoverboard. He had that on the regular, like basically in the first one when there was the skateboard.
Yeah.
He like basically invented the skateboard by taking a kid's like little scooter thing and ripping off the handles and then just like skateboarding on it.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of, I think.
Yeah. So
yes, it's like that, but it has pedals that you push down, and when you push down, it's kind of like the I'm just laughing because I'm like, we're gonna have to go through another verbal
I'm ready.
Okay, so those birds that you pedal in the water, the swans. Yes.
I'm gonna count. I'm gonna give 10 more points to Gryffindor because we said at the same time.
Yeah. Anyways, so it's like
the birds that you pedal in the water. I don't know if most people know about those. I think that's kind of an Orlando thing, or maybe we just appropriated it. But yeah, we have giant plastic swan boats that are like powered by pedaling, and you can rent them downtown.
Yeah.
So
we appropriated that from somewhere. I don't know where, but it's like that, but it's a paddleboard and you stand on it, so it's like a standing elliptical floating thing.
But with handlebars.
With handlebars, so you don't fall. But they're really expensive. Yeah, but I think...
Why? How is it expensive to pedal yourself across the ocean?
I guess because it's kind of like a workout machine, and all workout machines are incredibly expensive.
It's like insurance. It's like suddenly once it's marked as like medical grade, suddenly the price shoots up.
Maybe. I was looking at treadmills because I've been wanting a treadmill, but they're so expensive.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get one of those anytime soon.
For me as well, because I need to get a higher level of support for my weight, essentially. Like I need to go up to their like max tier, like allowed weight. It's like once you go past like 200, they're like, okay, well, it's going to cost more than.
Okay. Yeah, that happened at the beach. What else happened?
Did you see any water bears?
I saw a dolphin. I did not see a water bear, but I only saw a little bit of a dolphin. It was very exciting yet disappointing.
I feel like you're perpetually on the lookout for dolphins whenever you're nearby the sea.
It would be kind of a dream if a dolphin came up to me while I was paddleboarding. Maybe multiples, not too aggressively, but just like curiously. That would be kind of ideal. And I would be able to die happy. Probably.
Here's my question. Why are you only excited to find a dolphin while you're around the ocean?
I'm not. What do you mean?
Like you're always keeping an eye out. As soon as you go to the ocean, you're looking out for those dolphins.
Where's the dolphins? Because they live in the ocean.
Well, why don't you look for them in like rivers and stuff?
Because they're not as prevalent there. And I do. I mean, I can look out for animals. If I see a dolphin, that'd be good.
Look, freshwater dolphin.
But yeah, they definitely have those. Whoa, that's creepy.
That's a dolphin from the Amazon rainforest.
Okay. Well, I've never been there. But if I were, I don't know that I would be... Are they as friendly as porpoises? Are they like porpoises?
I assume they are a porpoise, but...
But, like, is their temperament the same? Because that mouth looks like it could crush me. I don't know. It's not as friendly looking.
I don't know. Like, normal dolphins have teeth and stuff.
Yes, they do, but...
They are a mammal.
This looks like it could... I'm going to
say they're a porpoise.
Stab me and then eat me like that.
Biology, anatomy, senses, interaction with humans.
This is an interesting string of words.
This is all the headers in Wikipedia.
Oh.
There's mythology.
Yeah. I've seen dolphins in not like the wide open ocean, but in like inlets and like side. I don't know that they're not rivers, but they're they connect. What are they called?
I think I'm going to lose this one. Junctures.
No, but it's called like
branches.
I guess it would be a river. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think like
do you even know what a water bear is?
No, you did say that. What is a water bear?
You don't know what a water bear is?
No. Should I?
There's water bears. Like, they're some of the most amazing animals.
I just Googled it.
Yeah, they're cute, right?
They are the last thing from cute.
They're tardigrades. Okay, so they are like one of the most resilient species on the earth. Like, nothing can kill these things.
They're called moss piglets. They're called moss piglets.
They're like invincible, immortal beings.
Okay, so they're like roaches of the sea?
Well, they live in a lot of different environments because they can live in a lot of different environments. In fact, people theorize that they are now living on the moon because of us.
What?
They crashed a spacecraft onto the surface of the moon that contained tardigrades. And since they can survive in pretty much any environment, the assumption is they may be alive on the moon.
So they were transported, you said, from Earth to the moon, right?
Right. So they were brought into space as part of an experiment.
Oh, so is it intentional?
Well, it was intentional to bring them into space. I don't think it was intentional for them to crash it on the moon.
Well, okay, but it wasn't intentional for them to leave them there.
Right. Oh. It was just like they were on, they put it up on this, this like lunar lander thing, and then it ended up crashing into the moon. And so now there's probably just some tardigrades there on the face of the moon, chilling.
Okay. Well, you know,
life on another planet.
Right.
Oops. Hope it doesn't conflict. I hope they aren't like an invasive species.
Yeah. Well, it says that they are, let's see. Most of them are herbivores, but not all of them. And they will eat you if you are smaller than they are and you are within reach of their claws.
Dun dun.
Dun dun dun. But they're
Don't
very,
ever get
very
smaller
small. So, but, what was I going to say? Oh, like that some of the greatest inventions and discoveries and things that happen are as a result of an accident. So this could be
let's just do some stuff. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, it'll be millions of years from now, but that is a weird looking thing. So how small are they?
Very small.
Like we wouldn't even see them. How do they even know that can't even be real? Because that looks like their nose looks mechanical.
Well, once you get small enough, stuff starts looking weird. It's like the resolution of our universe is starting to break
I can't
down.
get over the moss piglet. Moss piglet is just the funniest name. It's way
They kind of look like a little piglet, don't they, with their little snouts?
No, I didn't see any of those on my trip. And I feel like there was more interesting things to talk about. Oh, two things that I had, two of my goals. Usually I have like one goal or two goals that when I go there is like things I want to see. Obviously, dolphins are always one of those things. But this year I was really dead set on finding sea glass because apparently the beach there has a ton of sea glass. I never find it, ever. I look and I look and I look and I never find any. But our stepsister, Christy, she has like an eye for it or something. She comes back with like bags of it. Like
she's a sea glass prospector.
She has like an eagle eye for glass on the beach. Anyways, not like glass, but sea glass. So if anybody doesn't know what sea glass is, which I assume you do, but it's like weathered glass. So it's really soft and smooth and the edges are all rounded.
It's like very matte.
Yeah, it's very matte. And there's different colors. So I made myself
it's almost like a colorful stone.
Yeah. I made myself a lofty goal of not only finding sea glass, but I wanted to find a blue sea glass. That was my goal.
Wow, that's very specific. So a blue bottle needed to have broken 10 years ago and gotten roughed up by the sands of time.
Oh no. So brown is the most frequent, obviously, because there's so much brown glass. So brown is the most likely to be found, then clear or white. And
Coke bottles.
Then bottles, yeah. And then green and then
Heineken bottles.
Blue. I don't know if there's ever been pink or anything like that. I don't know. But that's usually what is out there.
Well, it's whatever color glass can be, right? So
well, true.
If there is a color of that glass, it could exist.
I guess
somewhere.
That's true. But it's not as prevalent and it's probably a lot harder to spot. I don't know, maybe. But
how about tan glass? That'd be really hard to spot.
Because it's on the beach. Well, that's what the clear ones are kind of hard. Because sometimes they're not quite frosty enough and they're still kind of clear. So it's like you miss them unless they're shiny, like shining in the sun or something. But like a lot of people look for sea glass. So also you have to go at certain times. You have to go when the tide comes up and has like washed a bunch of stuff up shortly after that. Or you have to go in the morning before like the hunters get out there and start looking. So anyways.
The sea glass hunters.
Right. The sea glass hunters. And there's.
So what do you do for a living? I'm a sea glass hunter.
Well, there could be. I mean, it's kind of a cool thing because you can also like kind of scuba dive right there on the shore and find some in the like that are right there in the water. But
sure.
Anyways, so she found, as you would imagine, quite a bit. She found,
and you're feeling a little dejected.
I'm feeling every single day. I got a little more, just
pessimistic.
No, I don't know if pessimistic's the word. It was just
jaded.
Like disheartening,
depressed.
Yeah, there you go.
Like you have no meaning.
Like I wanted to just
purpose.
walk into the ocean and never come back out. Yeah, like that.
So it was a good vacation.
Yeah. But I'm happy to say, I did find 2 pieces of sea glass. I know. And one of them was clear and one of them was green. And it wasn't even just like a regular green. It was like a teal green. It was so pretty. So I was happy with that, even though I didn't find the blue. But the blue is the most rare. So although she found 2 pieces of blue, so, that was kind of fun.
Wow, you're really making this a competition. You're like, well, she found 2 though. So it's like.
No, it wasn't a competition at all. Like, it was cool. Like, we often went together. So that was something fun we could do together. And yeah, but next year or the next time I go to a beach, I'm going to become better at this. I need to find a way to become better. And what's weird is...
so you're going to get a job as a sea glass hunter. A sea glass hunter.
It's just a hobby, okay? Just a hobby. But I feel like I would be really good at it because I have really good, vision typically, like especially, I usually go during the day and I have better vision at night, which seems strange, but I have pretty good night vision versus bright daytime vision. So maybe that's part of the problem. But
Are you a cat?
No. But
that's why you hate other cats.
Oh, it could be. No, I'm kidding. I don't hate cats. They're weird.
Like the river dolphins.
Like the weird, yes. Well, I don't know
like
their
the Tardigrades.
personalities. They could be really nice dolphins. I don't want to be prejudiced. I mean, they do. I don't know why.
Did you see one?
No, but I just scrolled up to the roach on your back. That was weird.
That was a chat from a while ago.
I know, it was an accident. I didn't mean to do that. So, but these dolphins, they could be really sweet. But for some reason, I'm just thinking they're not as, great as the dolphin. Although I know dolphins are kind of overrated. Everybody likes a dolphin because, they're like the pretty, smart, popular one. So this one could be
That's cool and has a lot of money.
Yeah.
And drives a nice car.
Like they're protected.
And
blah,
successful.
Blah, blah. Successful, right? This one could be just like awesome. And everybody just turns their nose up at it because of the way it looks with its weird
Particularly
head.
its nose.
And its nose. Yeah, but its head too. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. And its little eyes. And it doesn't even have a fin. Like, it's like, I'm sorry, it just didn't grow.
Well, it's in a river. Come on.
True.
Doesn't have room for a fin.
Well, anyways.
A dorsal fin.
I feel bad for it. You know what else I feel really bad for? Okay.
Wow. What if somebody saw a picture of you and was like, I feel bad for her? You don't even have a dorsal fin, do you?
That's probably happened before. I don't know. Anyways, I do feel bad because I was on my walk tonight and on the way home, I saw one of those grasshoppers. It was injured on the street.
Where did we leave this? You're like on the fence with them right now. You're like trying to
literally
become friends.
On the fence because they sit outside on my fence. Yeah. So, but I'm trying to become more friendly with them. I'm trying to build a relationship. From
afar. Just gonna clip that part out. I'm trying to build a relationship with these grasshoppers, but they just won't have it. They're being ridiculous.
Just stare at me with these crazy, mean-looking eyes. Like they're
maybe you need to get like a relationship therapist to come out and help you with them.
You don't even know like how brave I have to be sometimes to do any kind of yard work whatsoever. Right now you're
an American hero.
I'm putting my life on the line. Or at least my heart. Because, okay, people are like, oh, well, it can't hurt you. It could give me a heart attack. And that could kill me. So, I think...
But that's you killing you.
Not really, because it knows. I believe that it knows my fear. And it's just taking advantage. Anyways, I feel bad for this grasshopper because he was, like, half squished. But his little leg in the back was, like, straightening and, like, bending and straight. And he was being, like, eaten by ants. And I was like,
rough.
Oh my God,
that's a bad way to
go.
Speaking from experience.
So I was like, I don't know what to do. But I was like, I couldn't bring myself to get close enough to like end it for him. So I just left it. And now I feel horrible.
This is like the end of Old Yeller. Oh my God.
Like I'm going to think about it.
Now you still think about it?
I am. Well, see,
friend recently, I
wasn't alone, okay? I will say I was not alone. There were other people.
So the onus is not completely on you.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. Okay, go on.
But you are one of them.
I know.
So a group of... I'm going to include the other people that were in this instance now that you said that. A group of my friends recently heard a sudden scream that was cut short. And I came over and they were like, yeah, we just heard like somebody screaming and then it just stopped. And I'm like, what'd you do? And they're like, nothing.
Oh no.
I was like, see, that's what's going to happen. You're in a horror movie. You're in like the city and you're like, okay, I'm just going to scream for help and it'll be fine. But
it's
no.
so true though.
You scream and everybody just closes their windows.
Right? That's probably true. I wonder how you tell if somebody is in true danger or not. Because
yeah, and they were kind of like, what do we do?
Time.
Like, what do we just like call the cops and say like, we heard someone scream?
I guess you could. And they could just do like what, but you don't know where.
You know how often people scream? Yeah, and exactly. We don't really have a pinpoint location. I was like, did you go check it out? They're like, God, no.
Well, I mean, that could be dangerous.
It was at night, so
so I don't blame them for not checking it out. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I would feel it depends on the scream. I think like if it sounded, I don't know. But that's
apparently it sounded kind of rough.
Oh no.
Yeah, I hope they're all
right. You could at least call and say, yeah, I heard this like scream that it was horrible. Then at least you've said something. Then the police can say, that doesn't say that's not really worth our time. And then it's on them.
Yeah, you could call the I guess the non-emergency number, right? Yeah, just call in and be like, it's
kind of
I don't know.
Yeah.
You can drive around the block if you want, see if anybody's running around.
True.
Being mischievous.
That's true though. Like imagine if it was you or someone you cared about and they screamed. That happened before. There was like a girl who was like screaming in her apartment across the way, and like these people in their apartment could hear her, and nobody called because everybody thought somebody else would call, and then she died. It was horrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I think they ended up like having to go to court and stuff for it because they're like nobody said anything. I don't think they were ever held accountable for the murder, obviously, but I think there was some kind of law put in place where you had, I don't know, in that area. I forget where it was. This is a vague story in my head, so I just remember something like that. There's like a TV.
Reminds me of Charles Ramsey.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. What is they songified him? What was the song?
Songified him.
I don't remember the song, but he was one of those people that the news report went viral because it was very like absurd. But the guy's like crazy. He was a hero. He like he saw somebody like that was trapped in the house and was basically like banging and like motioning for help inside the house, and he like broke in and broke them out, and it turned out like the guy had kidnapped them and had him like locked in his basement.
Whoa, really?
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And so they were all interviewing him and being like, so you're basically an American hero now, and he's like, yeah, crazy.
Oh yeah, I do remember that now. Yeah, that's right. Wow, yeah. It's hard to know though. It's hard to know like when you're intruding.
Oh, that's right. It was Dead Giveaway. If anybody's looking for the songified version. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Dead Giveaway.
Yeah, exactly. Like when are you like, oh, that person's just messing around, and also like, oh, am I going to like physically do something myself about this? Like,
yeah, like
this could potentially be like a serial killer's house. Like in that case, I mean, that guy was pretty nuts to have like a person locked in his basement.
There's so many things that could go wrong. That like even when you ever watch those shows and there's that like Randy cop who's like kind of rogue and they're always like they don't listen to authority and they're always like okay that's fine but wait for backup, and then they never do and they go in and it's like
screw that.
Yeah, and then they're like, I'm gonna take this on, and then of course something terrible happens and then they're all alone and you think
they get shot or something.
Yeah, well anyways, so you don't want to put yourself at too much risk, but you also want to save somebody's life. Like, it's hard to know.
I guess that's what the police are for, right?
True, but, you know, if you're there and you know it's going to be a while before the police get there and you're like, I don't know. Like, also, what if you kill somebody? Even if you are helping somebody, it's still, like, and it could be self-defense, but what if it's a situation where it's like, everything happens so fast and then you're not really sure? You just, like, got scared or
somebody runs at you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, or like there's sometimes where people step in to help people, and then the people that are being hurt get mad at you for stepping in, and they're like, because they like are part of that whole like Stockholm syndrome where they actually love their abuser and they're like mad at you for hurting their, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like it's a complicated business being a hero.
Being a hero. How do you do it with your mowing the lawn with grasshoppers around?
No, I don't. I try. Okay, so the worst part for me is when I have to do the weed whacking around certain bushes because these things love these bushes.
And they spring out.
Or like if I have to walk past them, because they're on the wall or they're on the fence or like whatever. I can't even tell you. Like, it's probably humorous to watch me go through this whole thing, but like, I have to run past certain parts of the house, the yard, and
sure that agitates them.
I don't know what to do, to be honest. I try to just kind of like stay as far away. They usually try to hide a little bit. Like, they kind of try to go away from me, but then there's times where like one time, I don't know if I told you this yet, but I was watering. I planted some new plants in the side of my house, and it was strategic planting because our homeowner situation, they're like, your paint keeps getting chipped on the side of your house because of the weed whacker. Like, the weed whacker will chip the paint. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to plant something there because then it's done. But so I did that. But then I realized these grasshoppers really like these plants. But because they were new plants, I had to water them. But apparently they hate water, which I've learned. Because anytime I'm watering them and water gets on them, they go crazy. They will jump like all over the place. It was kind of a nightmare moment for me because I was setting up a sprinkler because I was like tired of going out there every single day with a hose or whatever. So I was like, I'm just going to set up a sprinkler to sprinkle to time it or whatever. So it'll turn on and it'll sprinkle whatever. So I was setting it up and the sprinkler like went onto the plants and then got stuck. I don't know. It wasn't being set up right or whatever.
And
it was
they
like,
just poured out.
Oh my gosh. It was one specific one that was huge, like the biggest one I've seen yet. And I actually felt really bad because he was really scared. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. And I'm trying to get this water away. So I got the water away, but it kept like, because the way the sprinkler is, it doesn't just like come out all at once. It kind of goes one way and then it goes back the other way and then it comes back. So it would go away and then it would come back and hit it again. So he was like, ah. But he was trying to get away and he was trying to climb. So there's like a corner. So on the side of my house, there's the wall and then it butts up against the fence. So there's a corner between the wall and the fence. And he's trying to get into that corner and then like climb the fence, but it's too wet. So he can't grab a hold of anything. So he just keeps sliding back down the fence, like, and then into this puddle of water. And he was like, he was having a really bad day. And I felt really bad for him because
And you kind of corrected him.
I did. I know. he was terrified. And I was like, I'm sorry. I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship for these creatures because I don't like anything to suffer or be, obviously. But I'm scared of them. So I don't know what to do. But so I eventually got
the in-between.
Yeah, I know. Well, at least I know, like, if I don't want them around me, I could just spray the water and maybe they'll leave. But anyway, I moved the water. He eventually crawled off somewhere. He's fine, probably, hopefully. So yeah, we both put our lives on the line living together. I don't know why we do it, but makes life interesting, I guess. So
why are we here?
Why are we here?
That's interesting. I was watching a thing recently that gave us a way to stay here longer. It was the Secrets for Long Life, basically by a guy literally researching, keeping people's genomes from deteriorating as they get older. So he actually is doing research to keep rodents and stuff alive for longer amounts of time. And actually, I think what they started with was increasing the aging process, like to see if they could then flip the methodology around and do it the other way.
Okay.
But yeah, basically it just seems like he found that it's seen a lot in bacteria, but I guess it kind of goes back to like the soup of the earth days where like everything was bacteria. And we still have in our genome to this day like a program to basically go into longevity mode where basically if like reproduction doesn't seem like viable at the time, aka like the environment doesn't seem to feel like it would suit like an offspring sort of situation.
Okay.
Your DNA will actually go into like a hibernation and like kind of like preserve itself and stop degrading over time.
Oh.
Yeah. So they were basically able to create this scenario where things lived longer when they like didn't give them extra food. They basically just gave them just enough to survive. They put them in like really hot or cold environments, so uncomfortable temperatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple other things that are basically just like getting your heart rate up like really, really fast, like you're being chased like a predator or something.
Yeah.
And like that kind of stuff will like trick your genome into actually like making you live longer. And they like ran these experiments on primates and on well, I think they've seen the results in primates, but they were particularly doing it on rodents, and they were able to like, they took a pair of twin rodents, and like one of them, like after years, you can see like one of them's like obviously old, and the other one's like still very young. It's interesting.
Wow, that is interesting. It's funny. I actually did a podcast episode on the New Views podcast with this girl that I know. She is an esthetician, nurse specialist, but she's really into biohacking, which is kind of like that. It's like a area of health basically that's kind of becoming bigger and bigger, because it's about stuff like that, where it's like doing things to your body and like natural things to help improve certain diseases, but also just longevity of life and just an overall more well-being, healthier well-being. And it was a really interesting conversation because she kind of goes over like some compelling science on the benefits of biohacking, like natural stuff, and the benefits of doing certain things to your body. There's a lot of it is natural, like natural ways that you can do it, but then other ways are things you can use to kind of hack the natural progression of things. And like you can track, like there's like tests that you could take to track everything that's going on in your body essentially. And then also like red lights that you can use and different things. But she's kind of like more on the side of doing it as naturally as possible, which was interesting. And then she also talked about like how astronauts use it sometimes for their training and to help them when they're up in space and kind of like slow their bodies down for the things that they have to, their bodies go through up there with the whole anti-gravity thing. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting.
Well, I'm into hacking.
Yes, you are. That's true.
Biology or not.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of cyberpunk, biohacking.
It is kind of, but it's really like you said, like things like jumping into a freezing pool, like in the snow or something. You know how people do those ice dives or whatever, and then also like getting into saunas and doing that, and just going out in nature. Nature was a big part of it. It was like grounding yourself in nature, like putting yourself in nature rather than just going for a walk or whatever, but actually putting your feet to earth, sitting down in earth, like going swimming in the ocean, going swimming in the lakes. I don't know that I would do that here, but things like that. Like, I don't know, exposing your body to the natural environments and things like that. But I'm sure intermittent fasting is part of that. I know that for certain diseases, it's very beneficial for like people with heart problems, and but it's probably not for everybody. So I wouldn't just jump on that train. But yeah,
always listen to your own body. It knows most about you.
Yes.
This is not medical advice in any way. We are not a trained medical professional. Please do not take anything we say as fact.
No. But yeah, it was.
But that kind of sucks, right? That like the secret to living longer is to hardly eat, run like you're being chased like a predator, and sweltering heat. Like
basically make yourself as miserable as possible. Yeah, of course. But yeah.
But you'll get more miserable life.
It's true. Also, sleeping a lot would help too with that, because your body regenerates the most when you're sleeping.
Sleeping is good for you.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
It's really good for you. Apparently, like the human brain is like, I think of all humans, it's like, all animals, it's like the only animal where brains shrink. But I don't know if that's because we live longer than animals, but
that's rough.
They're the only ones that were like your brain.
We also have like the biggest ratio of like brain to body, right? Like we have like an extremely large brain for our body size.
Yeah, that's true. But did you know that 60% of the human brain is made of fat?
Fat.
Yeah, fat. So I don't know how much of it is actually for, intelligent thinking, but
I think with my fat. Thank you very much.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I guess you need all that, that conductive material for your neurons to fire.
Yes, that's true. But I guess because we suffer from things like Alzheimer's and dementia and stuff. But I feel like I've like some animal, like I feel like dogs do that sometimes, like where they get confused.
Fat brains.
Yeah, like confused and stuff.
Yeah, I get dementia and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know if they get dementia. I don't know what it is for dogs, but it's got to be kind of similar where they sometimes if they get too old, they forget where they are. They get confused of where to go, or I don't know. Like I feel like I've seen that before in dogs, but I could be wrong.
Should have been freezing more.
Yeah, they should have been tortured basically more so that they could live longer.
Great.
Noted. But it's interesting because I've watched this show recently, which actually is really good. I highly recommend it. It's called Clarkson's Farm. I don't know if you've ever watched Top Gear or
Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson. He's he bought a farm like in 2008, but he had other people running it for him. But then the main guy who ran the farm retired, and he was like, oh, I guess I need to hire a new guy. But like this guy's been running it forever. So if I hire somebody, they're going to have to learn really quick, like how to take care of the farm or whatever. So he decided, he's like, you know what? I've always wanted to learn how to run my farm. So why don't I just do that? And then they made a show about it. So it's basically like Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime. And they made a show about him learning his own farm, like how to take care of it, how to plant seeds, how to harvest and all of that. And then he does all these like stupid like side projects that he personally wants to do. And it's like, you don't know if it's like a good idea or just a terrible idea, but it's pretty funny. And
those are the best kind of projects.
Yeah. And he hires this like farmhand who used to work on the farm. So like he was already familiar with it. He worked on it for like 3 years, but then he started his own business. So, but then he's like, well, I need you because I don't know anything and I need somebody to teach me. And he also hires a couple other people that know about farming and stuff to kind of like help him out, but they're really funny. Like the characters are just perfect. And
characters?
Well, they are kind of like characters because like you get to know them and they each have their own little like funny.
They're a character.
They are characters. So
have you seen any of James May's videos? They've been I've been laughing at those. He had the one where what was it? He got locked out of his Tesla because the battery died, and then there's like to be able to unlock the door to be able to like recharge the battery, you need like it to be powered.
Oh, really?
So it was basically like a situation where he was locked out of his car and he had to like remove whole parts of the Tesla to like get to like a place where he could plug in some like power conduits to be able to like power the car to be able to like charge it up again.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Is that like just on his YouTube channel or what is that?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, they're all funny. I definitely like James May and I like Jeremy Clarkson, and I don't know. The other guy that what's his name?
Yes.
The one that
Joey Tribbiani.
I always forget. No. I'll think of it in a minute. But he started his own show too, with actually,
Richard Hammond.
Yeah, Richard Hammond. Yes, thank you. Richard Hammond started a show with the guy Tori from Mythbusters.
Really? It's kind of weird. They're always going to remind him of each other.
Yeah, exactly. So I like Richard Hammond usually. Like, he's funny on Top Gear and stuff, but this show, I mean, Mike watched the whole thing, and he tried to show it to me. We watched 2 episodes, and I was like, I can't watch this anymore. I really wanted to like it, but I couldn't. And when I looked, it has like terrible reviews. So I get it. Like, it's really bad. It's basically, when you're watching it, you like, for me, I was like, this is a kid's show, right? And he's like, but then they're like saying things that are very adult, which would not be on a kid's show. So it's definitely not a kid's show, but it's so corny and so much like a kid's show. Like they'll
Is it just terribly produced, or is it just like their chemistry is off?
I don't know. It's like terribly acted. It's terribly like produced, I think, because, or directed maybe, because it's like you can't really grasp what the concept is right away, and then and then eventually you do, but then you're like, but that's dumb. So why did they do that? And then it's very childlike, but it's also not childlike, and then it's very bad acting, and like, but it's not supposed to be acting. It's supposed to seem like they're not acting. I don't know. It's just really bad, but I'm trying to think of what it's called. I really wanted to like it, but
is it Petrol Challenge? Or is that a name of a segment? I don't know. I'm just looking at a YouTube video here.
It's called The Great Escapists.
Oh, okay.
So basically they get shipwrecked on an island, and they have to survive on this island. But it's not like that at all. So I really don't know how to explain
the premise just gets thrown right out the door.
Yeah. So it's basically them design. So like one of the things they do on like the first day or something is they both design a car and build a car out of the things that have shipwrecked with them, but somehow they keep finding these like really important necessary parts for their car.
I was about to say there's some rough stuff that like if you don't have it, you can't just like forge it out of metal. Like you need certain elements of like a gearbox or something that's like precisely fit to.
I mean, I don't know. I tried to.
I guess the idea is that it's out of minimal components,
but it's not. Yes and no. Like, yes, it looks makeshift, but no, because they have everything that they really wanted for the car. It's very confusing because they don't even like. I
mean, to make a car at all out of just parts and to make a new design is pretty difficult.
True, but then like, are they really making it? Because they don't show you they don't show you them making it. It's like they show you kind of like it looks like they're making it, but then it's done and it's completely made, and it's like obviously not constructed on a beach. So
yeah, they might have had some team members help. They might have gotten a little welding shop action.
Yes, and then they have these little like side stories. Like Tori thinks there's somebody else on the island, so he makes Hammond design like a security system for their house that they built. So
it's like oddly narrative.
Yeah, it's so strange. It's like not supposed to be scripted, but it's very scripted. But there's like a story and the theme, but I'm not really sure. I don't really understand it, really, I guess, is my struggle. And then the chemistry and... Well,
You've lost the plot.
I've lost it. But anyways, I really like Jeremy Clarkson's. And I think that they're going to make a second season because so many people like it. Like, people have been, like, writing Amazon saying, please bring back a season 2. So...
Of the Tori Belleci and...
No.
Oh, of the Jeremy Clarkson.
Yes, of the Jeremy Clarkson's Clarkson's Farm, and it's on Amazon. And go ahead and try to... Because this show is obviously geared towards somebody. So one of you out there listening, this could be your show. The Great Escapist. It could be. But it's definitely not my show. So I just don't want you to think because I don't like it.
Watch some YouTube clips.
Just don't think because I don't like it that it's terrible. Although I will say that... Well, let's see what the reviews were.
You're going to look them up?
Yes, I'm going to look up the reviews. Well, just like...
You're like, let's get a round table here. Let's see what the internet thinks.
The internet thinks... I don't really believe Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 60%, which I don't really know what that means, but... So it got a 3.
I hear they're pretty brutal. That's all I know.
The average rating is 3.1 out of 5, which, isn't that bad. I don't know, because there's been so many like shows.
That's basically like it's an okay show.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of shows out there that got really bad ratings that I actually really enjoyed. So I feel like that's not really fair to go off ratings. You just gotta watch it. Give it like 2 episodes. If you can't stand it anymore, then like me, just find something else to watch. So that's the last thing that I watched was that. And then, yeah.
Have you watched Loki?
No, I haven't. Did you tell me to watch that?
No, but, it's big right now.
I heard about it. Where did I hear about that? Somebody,
the MCU subreddit.
I've heard of it, so something must have. Is it?
But you're not up to date on all the Marvel stuff, huh?
Oh, that's what it is. It's a Marvel thing.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's kind of like the WandaVision stuff.
Okay, so I know. So I did watch Vikings. I finished that series. Oh
wow, that's a long series, actually.
I know, and I started watching it back when it first came out.
What would you say?
I took
do you recommend start to finish watching?
100%. Yes, I really like that show.
Oh, okay.
So very good show. I would watch it again, which is very rare for me to say. I don't usually watch shows more than once unless it's decent. So, but I started watching it like years ago, and then it was one of those things where it didn't come, like their next season didn't come out for a year, and then I forgot about it. And then, so like a couple years later, aka this year.
Like, I got some catching up to do.
Yeah, I was like three seasons behind. So I'm like, what the heck? But then now it's off the air. So, but it was good. Anyway, so there's a character on that show called Loki, and because it's like that, Norse. I think that's why they named him Loki. But that's just one of his names.
It's Vikings, and he's named after a Viking god.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And
he's a really good
it's pretty good. It's a very interesting show, but obviously kind of wouldn't mean so much if you didn't watch a lot of the MCU stuff. So I guess you're in the same boat as you were with WandaVision.
Yes. So at some point in my lifetime, I should probably get into all that, but I'm so out of it that it's a hard undertaking. It's kind of intimidating at this point. But
true.
Maybe one day.
Well, I think it's about time to wrap up.
Woohoo!
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. We've done this. We've said our piece. Hope you liked it, guys. I don't know what else to say.
All right, folks. Just sign up for the paid post show if you're interested in that. We'll be recording that now. Otherwise, I'll leave. Get out.
Yeah. Peace.
I love you, that's why I say cheerio, not goodbye. Remember our old tune, be back soon.
What do you think people would actually pay if we did a post show?
I think it's hard enough to get people to listen to the actual show. So
put in the comments if you are, do we have comments?
We have reviews. So put it in the reviews. Or go to Instagram and put it in those comments because I will read those. It's like the only place I read. Or Twitter, I guess. You can go there. I don't go on that very much, though. So don't be mad if I don't respond immediately.
All right. So what would the post show?
Email me.
Oh, yeah.
You can email me, too. So I'll get that.
What would the post show sound like? Hello. Welcome to the No Kidding Podcast post show. My name's Mr. Figglemeister, as I've previously stated.
That's how it would go. And you would run the whole thing. And then I would come in at the very end and say, hi, you've been listening to Figglemeister. And now it's your host, the perfect woman in the whole world. So.
So we each get our own slice.
No, I think we should do it together. Like, there's no reason for us to ever be solo. I mean, maybe you, but...
We each get some time, like a retrospective at the end to say our final closing comments. And then that's the paid element. Excellent. I love it.
All right. You get on that.